Welcome back into the Backup Plan, and we have a very special guest in studio today. Matt Pavich, comedian. You see him all over the place. Now you see him right here live on the Backup Plan. Before we get to some of the comedic intakes of this year's show, we're going to break down. Your fandom.
Okay.
Your Jets fandom.
I'm a big Jets fan.
I've noticed that. I followed you a little on social media. You're a big Jets fan. We have a great game tonight. New York Jets versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, taking place across the river just a little bit. Home game for you guys.
Big game.
A big game. Huge game.
Classic Jets.
Yeah, classic Jets. Right?
Play good enough just to not make the playoffs. It seems like a setup job.
Yeah.
We will lose tonight for sure against Jacksonville. I have little faith. Although Corey Davis is back, that's huge. Williams is back, that's huge on the defensive front. But Zach Wilson is not the guy.
You're saying that from a place right here.
Yeah, he doesn't have the locker room. He doesn't have the mojo. He doesn't have the swag. His receivers got their arms up. Throw me the ball. How many wide receivers did he miss in that last game? It was unbelievable.
So you're saying he doesn't have locker room. Even after he gifted his offensive lineman scooters this week, he gave them for holiday scooters. Now, in my opinion, given what he said about the defense a couple of weeks ago, he should have bought some extra ones for the guys on the defensive line.
You know why he got those scooters?
Why?
It was a setup. Thanks for not blocking and getting Mike White popped. Absolutely leveled. I've never seen a hit that hard in my life. So he said, "Oh, thank you for letting me have my job back by not blocking for the guy I'm trying to fight for this job."
How do you like Mike White, though? I
love Mike White.
The way he played, the strength he played to get hit like that, come back, and then go to the hospital.
Broken ribs, straight in the ambulance to the hospital. That's my guy. Mike White is my guy. Zach Wilson is a bum. Unfortunately.
You know who you sound like?
Who?
T.O. with Tony Romo. That's my quarterback.
That's my quarterback. That's my quarterback. Oh, you guys are too young for that.
Obviously playing the Jacksonville Jaguars tonight. Did you see that Jags offense last week come back against Dallas?
Yeah, it was a crazy game. Unbelievable.
You scared? You worried?
I'm worried, yeah. I mean, our defense is unbelievable. I'm not worried about our defense. If we had better offense this year, we win a lot of those games late. I'm not worried about the defense. I'm worried about Zach Wilson. Although we do have Corey Davis back. That's huge. Mm-hmm. He's a big target, especially safety valve stuff. Although, Zach Wilson will miss throws to him.
And the main reason why this defense is so intriguing and so good to watch is because they're so young.
So young.
But you take a look at the way that the Jets handled themselves in the draft. This is very rare, but when you're building a franchise to compete, you need this, right? We go Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Jermaine Johnson. Top 4 picks, didn't miss on a single one.
Unbelievable. I mean, Breece Hall's still healthy. We win 2 more of those games, 3 more of those games maybe. Our run game's been in shambles. I like Zonovan Knight. I know he's got a bum ankle tonight. That'll be interesting to see how he does. But Breece is unbelievable. Sauce, I mean, he might be the best cornerback in the league.
Can you name a better nickname? Seriously.
Sauce? No, it's incredible. Sauce Gardner. I want to be his friend. He's so cool. He's dripping sauce. It's unbelievable. And then you gotta love, it's exciting to have a draft class like that. It's very, very cool. But we just don't have that guy at quarterback yet.
I noticed you are not a fan of Zach Wilson.
He doesn't have the locker room. BYU guy, he doesn't have the swag. He has no sauce.
And you know what? That's what you need. You need Sauce Gardner to bring the sauce to Zach Wilson.
That's what you need. Give him some. Give him some sparkle energy.
Just drip a little on him. Drip a little sauce on him.
Drip a little sauce on him.
Yeah, I respect that. So, as we sit here and you look tonight, New York Jets, in the playoff discussion, if I would have told you would be having this conversation with me on December 22nd, if I would have said that to you August 22nd, thoughts?
No shot. I would have said this team's going to win 4 games tops, but this is typical Jets behavior. We won't get a good draft pick because we'll win 8 games or 9 games. We'll just miss the playoffs by 1 game. What is it? 2000? What was the last time we went to the playoffs?
I want to say 12. I'll give you 16. 16?
I think it's even earlier than that. I think it might be 2015. No, 2000. It's bad. We're on like a 15-year, like a long drought.
You know what? It could come to an end.
Yeah.
Those 2 losses to the Patriots probably will hurt you.
I know. We can't beat the Pats. We can't win conference games. It's divisional games. It's bad.
Yeah. So let's ease out of the anger that you have for the Jets. I don't want to bring you down tonight. No, we look to the comedians to lift us up. Yes. And so you were voted a couple of years back New York's funniest.
I was. That was very, very cool. Like Caroline's, which is unfortunately closing down. It was a very, very cool opportunity. I won New York's Funniest. Some really funny comedians in the competition. It was a really cool vibe. Got me a lot of opportunities. Got me a lot of looks.
How did you get into the comedy game?
I always wanted to be like an actor. I went to a performing arts high school, and I just got on stage one time, and I was like, this is way cooler.
Yeah.
This is so much more fun. I can just write jokes and tell them into a microphone, and people will listen and pay me. This sounds like a dream. It seems made up.
What I really liked about your comedy is I was looking at your more recent album, Wednesdays at Bellevue. You can listen to it on streaming services, including Amazon Music.
Please
and
do.
You're very upfront about the title and very purposeful and intent about the title.
Yes.
Explain to our viewers why you titled this album Wednesdays at Bellevue.
Of course. I'm bipolar 1, and I have had a lot of struggles with mental health in my early 20s. Even now I struggle with it. But I have been hospitalized at Bellevue a few times, and I thought it was a funny nickname. I talk a lot about being bipolar in the special. Wednesdays at Bellevue's got a nice ring to it. Just trying to like uplift and destigmatize the talks around mental health. Try and make it a little funnier, make it more of a, you know, everyone's dealing with it. Everyone has someone they know that's dealing with mental health stuff. We go through our whole lives with the struggle. And it's like a, you know, it's a good tale. I got sober, haven't had a manic episode in 4 years. I'm doing a lot better, take my meds, go to therapy, journaling. It's nice.
Yeah, it's good to see that because there's so many times, and like you discussed it, like people are dealing with mental health journeys.
A lot in sports, too.
Yeah, as we see, right? And they don't feel comfortable enough to discuss it.
Yeah.
Or they don't feel like there's a place where they can discuss it without judgment.
Right.
Why was it so important to you? And tell me about your process of being fearless enough to discuss something so personal publicly.
Of course. I mean, at first I was like, this is my secret. No one can ever know I've been hospitalized. I've been to a psych ward. That's embarrassing and disgusting and horrible. And then one night I just started talking about it on stage, and people came up to me after the show. They were like, that was so cool, man. That was so like real. I resonated with that. My brother's bipolar. My daughter is struggling with that. That's so. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'm doing like something even cooler than just comedy. Like I'm like reaching people and being vulnerable and destigmatizing talking about mental health.
I love one of your bits about the karaoke at Bellevue.
Yeah.
That was one of my I mean, there were so many funny ones. I was dying laughing
the
whole time. But like taking that moment and finding comedy in it.
Yeah.
Take me through that process because it doesn't seem like it would be a comedic moment in one's life.
It wasn't. It was bad. It was very sad. I was in a psych ward. I was 20. I mean, it happened a few times, but I was young and at rock bottom. And I was just sick of living with this like secret. And I thought, if I can make this funny, I can make anything funny.
Yeah.
It was almost like a challenge,
Yeah.
you know? And I did. I made some really good jokes about being bipolar and being mentally ill and struggling with sobriety and all those things. And I go, all right, maybe I'm fun.
Maybe I'm funny.
This
Maybe
is
I'm
funny.
funny. Yeah,
This is funny, yeah.
And so obviously in doing that and putting together your comedy, your jokes, and telling your story, you've been able to get bigger platforms, right? Obviously performing with John Oliver on ABC, nationally televised, showing up here on Amazon Prime Video Sports Talk. The backup play. Exactly. Hey. What was it about finding your voice and then now seeing the support to share your voice in other mediums and other platforms?
Yeah, I mean, it's the coolest thing ever. Getting to do anything comedy related for money is so cool, and it's not even about the money at this point. I just love doing comedy so much. I have people DM me like, you inspired me to get back on my medicine. I mean, that's like so much cooler than telling a joke, you know?
Yeah.
That's like bigger than, I don't know, it just felt like there's this community of people that are hurting, and if I can get on stage and tell them some yucks and make them laugh and forget about their lives, then that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, tell us about the next comedy sets you're working on, some of the new stuff we can expect to see soon.
Yeah, I just launched a podcast called Two Boroughs. It's very, very cool. It's with my buddy Peter Ravello. It's a lot of fun. I'm from Queens. He's from Staten Island. And
interesting. We were discussing this pre-taping.
Yeah.
You are not a Mets fan.
I'm not. I don't care about baseball. It's a dog. It's just a bad sport, in my opinion. It's just boring, and I can't get into it. I love the Mets. I love the fandom. I love going to Citi Field. I loved going to Shea as a kid. Get me a hot dog. I'll sit there and pretend to care. But I'm not going to watch 162 games.
Look at the pain on the face. Look at it.
How do you
It's
care? How do
is,
people care for that long?
it's the team of Queens.
I know, and I support them, but in September, and they're never there in September, so it's like, what are we doing?
Hey, you got a new
October,
owner. You got a new
I'm
owner.
sure. Yeah.
You might be there in November this next year.
We'll see. They did make a lot of additions that I know nothing about because I don't care about baseball, but you can see me at New York Comedy Club was the question. I'm at New York Comedy Club all the time, and I run a show on Sundays at Freehold in Brooklyn every Sunday at 7. That's when you can check out my
Matt
comedy.
Pavich, massive Jets fan. Massive Jets fan. Not a Mets fan. Don't ever confuse the two.
Not a Mets fan.
Yeah, we got much more on the backup plan coming up after this.